Hello, good afternoon. My name is Elahi Said Wakas, and today I'll be interviewing my fellow guest over here. Before we begin, could you please introduce yourself to us and who you are?
Hi, my name's Abhinav. I am the co-founder and CEO of Gridflow. We are an EV charging solutions company based out of Hong Kong.
I see. So, just to get a bit of insight and a bit of information about you, when did you start Gridflow? Was there a story to why you started Gridflow in the first place?
Um, so to answer your question, Gridflow started early last year, so around February 23. It started out as an idea for a hackathon project that me and a couple of friends were doing. And eventually we realized how much potential it had, and then we just continued working on it. And I think uh, midway through last year, we decided to turn it into a company finally. Thankfully, we got some funding, and yeah, here we are.
And suffice to say, the company's done pretty well. As a new business owner at the time, were there any difficulties or particularly confusing issues you may have run into? Because having known quite a few business owners, it's definitely a very challenging and very different experience many business owners go through, having to navigate becoming your own boss and having to do everything.
I think, yeah, definitely. There's quite a few things. Logistically, of course, I am in Hong Kong right now, and we started our company in Hong Kong. But I am not from Hong Kong, so I only moved here, I think, 4 years ago. So I wasn't really familiar with how the legal stuff works here, how businesses work, what kind of different, company types, legal matters, tax filings, things like that. So I think there's a learning curve to every business owner, and for me, this was one of them because now I think I'm a little well versed than I was last year on how Hong Kong companies work. But yeah. Another thing that's really interesting is when you start working on your own company, you realize that as an entrepreneur, whatever you do is through your own motivation, right? And you have to make sure that you maintain that drive. There's going to be times when things are moving slow and you're a little less motivated than general. But that drive is really important because the people around you rely on you for that drive. So yeah.
So would you agree if I said that the level of success of your company of your business is directly proportional to however much you put in and whatever effort you put into the company? Would you agree with that statement?
100%, 100%. Specifically because I think when you are leading a team, your team relies on you or looks at you for direction, and it is important that you set yourself up as a person who can then deliver on top of that, and show them the direction. Work twice as hard and ensure that they are as motivated as you are.
I see. So, another question to ask you. Having ran the company for more than a year now, what issues have your company been affected by in respect to current times and how the current market is moving? Or maybe to be more concise, how has Gridflow as a company adapted to these issues? And you as a business owner, how have you tackled these issues and led your company to success through these times?
Um, so there's been quite a lot. Of course, as a new business, especially in the startups scene, things are moving really fast, and so you sort of have to, like most startups are, and most entrepreneurs are running towards, figuring out a product market fit, where ensuring that the product that they're building is fit for the market, and that requires a lot of back and forth with the clients, and then coming back with your team, developing, going back, things like that. When we started in February 23, the idea that we were thinking about was pretty novel at the time. But as we went on through, I mean, of course, almost the end of 2024 now, a lot of things have changed. AI has come into play. Most companies are adapting to AI, and they're trying to, embrace it and figure out how it makes it better. And that's what we had to do as well. So if I were sticking to the idea that we were at in 2023 February, I think we wouldn't be innovative anymore. There would definitely be other companies that are doing similar things, but I think uh, the way we adapted was by embracing that change and trying to include that into what we're doing. Um,
I see.
So yeah, yeah.
Um, so now I want to get a little bit more specific into Gridflow as a company itself. I really wanted to ask you, what are Gridflow's main products? And in terms of your customer base, who do you like to target, or who do you like to go for, first of all, or mainly, I should say?
So we're primarily in the EV charging space, and we would categorize our products into three main sections, right? So the first one is physical chargers themselves. So we sell EV chargers. We design and we get it manufactured through a partner, but we design our own EV chargers and then we sell them. Um, and we also offer installation and those kind of services on that. The second sort of product base that we have is something called Gridflow Core, and it is our software platform, which is probably by far the most amount of time we've spent over the last 2 years working on. So Gridflow Core is a software platform to manage all these EV chargers, right? Whether you've bought them from us or whether it's a third-party manufacturer chargers, this platform sort of is a unifying platform that binds all of them together, and you can then monetize your chargers. Your drivers can have apps that they use to pay you while they use your chargers. You can look at your energy consumption, the amount of carbon dioxide you're saving, like reduction on your carbon footprint, where that energy is coming from, your sustainability. So yeah, I think those are the two major, and the third one that we're working on right now is something called the O&M or FOCO model. So O&M is basically operations and maintenance. We realized working on chargers and software that a lot of our clients that also already have EV charging stations don't really want to deal with the hassle of actually managing them, because running a EV charging station comes with a lot of issues, like maintenance. Something might break and you need to send people out to fix them. If something's not working, your customers are going to call you, and so you need to have like a customer support sort of thing. So there's a bunch of things that goes on into operations and maintenance of EV stations. And so this third sort of product category that we're entering into is where we start taking over the operations of these charging stations while the original owners maintain ownership.
Understood. So I don't want to take up any more of your time, so I have one final question for you. Do you have any insights into the EV charging market and the EV charging space that you'd like to share? And with your experience, what kind of developments or problems have you seen exist in the entire industry as a whole? If you can hear me, sir, you have been cut out completely.
Hi, am I audible?
Hello? Hello?
Hello. Hi, am I audible?
Yeah, now you are.
Sorry, I think we had some internet issues here in the office.
Right.
The team's just working. But to answer your question, I think something that's really interesting is over the last quite a few years, a lot of companies have worked towards standardizing EV chargers and charging infrastructure, and you see charging infrastructure coming up across the world. But a huge problem that we are trying to tackle now is grid preparedness, because the electricity for existing EV charging stations and new ones run through your actual electric grid that is already in place. Say you're charging 10 cars at full capacity on a 35 kilowatt charging station, you would be drawing 300 kilowatt of power across the grid. And the grid is generally not prepared for this because your infrastructure is not prepared for a lot of this high power draw. So that is something that's very interesting currently in the market, and something we are working actively towards fixing, and I think a lot of other companies. One way to fix this is for utility companies and EV charging stations to work together to sort of share data and plan demand more, proactively. And I think, yeah, that's one of the bigger problems that we're solving right now.
So, Mr. Abhinav, thank you so much for your time, and I think anyone that listens to this interview will be able to gain a lot of valuable insight and knowledge, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
You too.
Hello. So I have four questions for you. The first one is, when did you start the company, and what's the story and the confusion at the beginning?
Well, for your question, I start to take my current position in 2022, so which is about 1.5 years after I graduated from my master's degree in the University of Sydney. For now, I am the Chief Executive Officer and take the responsibility for all aspects of my company. However, I am not the original founder of the company. Actually, we are a family business, which my grandmom starts it decades years ago, just after China started to reform and opening up. And if you ask me about the confusing issue of my career, I would like to say that my current job contents are much more different than what I learned from my uni. Our business is focused on the fashion retail area. However, I was studying quantitative finance, which major combined with computer coding, mathematics, and finance. So I must change my working priority from solving mathematical issues to convenience and collaborate with people.
Okay, so let's go on.
Yeah.
Okay, the second question is, looking at the company and advancing with the company for so many years, is there any changes has been bring to the company by the times and the market?
Yeah, actually we do have a huge improvement in our business, which we extend many branches in so many new cities of Sichuan province and even in the southwest part of China, of our country. So the numbers of the shops we are operating are like 10 times more than 3 years ago. So this benefits from the development of Chinese cashless payment system and the high-speed rail system, which reduce the lots of our financial risk and makes our managers frequently inspect local shops in different cities becomes possible. Meanwhile, with the developing of Chinese economy, the customers are no longer satisfied with the basic product, which enforced us to continuously develop new brands to keep our market share.
Oh, great. So the next one is, what are the main products of your company now, and what kind of the customer group is served?
We are now selling most of internationally renowned clothing brands, such as well as Chinese domestic brand. For example, I would like to say we are selling Nike, Adidas, and also the Chinese brand we call the Li. And also we have some fashion brands like Champion and MLB. For our consumer portfolio, the majority of our clients are married adults aged between 25 to 45 years old.
Okay.
So they are married adults between 25 to 45 years old.
Okay, the last one is, what do you think of the current development status of the sports market, and what problems exist in the development?
So actually, we are surfing a quite difficult time recently. This is caused by the slowing down of Chinese economic growth. We supply lots of products on the market, but the demand is not matching to what we expect. So we believe that this problem can be solved by keep improving of our product quality and the service standard. And we do have a full confidence that our business can survive in this new and challengeable time. So which means we can continuously training our staff and continuously to develop new high quality brands to satisfy the markets, to keep our market share and make our company continuously operate.
Okay. Hello. Today I have 4 questions for you. The first one is, when did you start joining the company, and what's the story and confusion at the beginning?
I joined this company in 2022, which developed a drone operating system based on a Harmony OS system. I joined because I felt that the application sensors were very broad and could solve many business problems. The main confusion is market expansion, how to find the users.
Okay. The second question is, look at the company and advancing with the company for so many years. What changes has been brought to the company by the times and the market?
I'm in a very new industry that it changes every day. My deepest feeling is that the company must maintain its technological leadership, otherwise it may be eliminated at any time.
Okay, great. So the third one is, what are the main products of your company now, and what kind of customers group is served?
Currently, our main focus is on developing Harmony OS unmanned aerial vehicle systems, which our main clients being the Chinese Air Force.
Okay. So the last question is, what do you think of the current development situation in your industrial market, and what problems exist in the development?
The market is developing rapidly now, and the government has not yet formulated unified laws and standards to regulate it. So I think that is an urgent test.
Okay, thank you for your interview.
So let's begin our interview. So before we interview, can you do a short, quick self-introduction?
Oh, I'm from a little town in China, and I'm in a community for about 20 years since my childhood. And now I'm studying in a university in Hangzhou. I'm a sophomore. That's all.
Okay, so as you a community neighbor, so we prepare a lot of 4 questions for you. So the first question is, how long have you lived in the community, in your country, in China?
Well, like I just said, I have been there for about 20 years since my childhood, and I see the community grow to a better direction. That's all.
So this is the second question. So what do you think are the main challenges facing the community?
Well, I think there are just 4 major questions that concern with our community people. The first is that the infrastructure is aging, and the upgradation needs is very abundant. And the second is that our environmental sustainability is in a low level. We need to find better ways to improve that. And the last is that the community engagement and social cohesion is still very not so close. So we need to do something to make it better. That's all.
Okay, thank you. So the third question is, what direction would you like to see the community take in the future?
Well, I think there are 3 aspects that our community will do in the future. The first is that we will do some green and eco-friendly practice, like integration of green technologies such as solar panels. And the second is that the smart community features, like adaptation of smart technologies for efficient resource management. And the last is that I'm going to have some enhanced community spaces like the development of multi-purpose community centers, and more is about parks or sports facilities that cater to all age groups. That's all.
Okay. So the last question is, what are your suggestions for improving the community?
Well, I think there are four things that maybe we can do to improve the whole community. The first is that establish a community improvement fund, encouraging residents to contribute to a fund dedicated to upgrading infrastructure and implementing sustainable projects. And second is regular community meetings and service. The third is partner with local businesses and organizations. The fourth is that promote digital literacy and inclusion. The five is that we should implement a green reward system. That's all.
Okay, so that's all. Thanks for your reply and goodbye. Thank you. Okay, so let's begin our interview. Before interview, can you do a short, quick self-introduction?
I'm a high school student that live in Chengdu, China, and I'm now 12th grade.
Okay, as you are community members, we prepared 4 questions for you. So the first question is, how long have you lived in this community?
I have been living in this community for 8 years since I was 10 years old.
Okay, so the second question, what do you think are the main challenges facing the community?
I'm not feeling like my community, although we have a community committee, but between the neighborhoods, because when the neighbors they got into some conflicts or some problems about housing, they are not willing to find the committee to solve those problems. So the committees, although they're having the sponsors and they are having the money, but they actually don't do anything useful for the community.
Okay, so the third question, what direction would you like to see the community take in the future?
I think if we can have a better election process to elect those like community committee, and maybe we can have our neighbors, our citizens to choose our own leader of our community, then that may be a better action to live better in this community and have better relationship between neighborhoods.
Okay, so the last question, what's your suggestions for improving the community?
My suggestion maybe we can build some we can build some committee to discuss the problems that are facing by the community members, and we can have some discussion and we can have some public speaking and to promote neighborhood harmony.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's all. Thank you. Interview before begin our interview, can you do a short, quick self-introduction?
Yes, my name is Kelvin, and I'm just a normal high school student who live in China, Chengdu. Yeah, that's all.
The first question is, how long have you lived in this community?
I have lived in this community started when I was born, and about 18 years. Yeah, so I'm just like the initiators of the community.
Okay, so let's begin our second question. So, what do you think are the main challenges facing the community?
Is that the financial is not enough in my community, I think. So maybe we need more supports from the government or from like the like in another committee to support more services and infrastructure for my committee.
The next question, what direction would you like to see the community?
Is that to have more financial aid so they can build more infrastructure and give us more services, especially for the old people. Yeah, so that can make my community more friendly and full of human and full of the sense of satisfaction.
Okay, the last question. What are your suggestions for improving the community?
I think my community can contact with the normal people who live in the community more and build a connection between the normal neighborhood and the government or like the leader in the community so that they can actually know what the people actually want to have and need in the community.
So, okay, thank you very much.
Okay, hello, my name is Brian and I'm from Indonesia, but I'm currently living in Malaysia and studying in Asia Pacific University.
Okay, so have you ever bought luxury goods?
Yes, I currently own a Louis Vuitton wallet, and I think I've been using the product for almost half a year, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, so let's begin our question. So what's your feedback on Louis Vuitton's products or service?
I think the issue with the surface was the inconsistency with the friendliness of the surface. I had gone to two LV boutiques so far in Malaysia. One was the one near Pavilion Bukit Bintang, and the other one was in TRX. The one in Bukit Bintang was very friendly, though, very helpful and very patient. Despite the salesperson knowing that I'm not going to buy any product because I was simply trying to exchange the product or was like surveying like the products that they listed, but they were still really helpful and patient, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, so last question. What products or service do you think can meet your needs?
From what I have observed so far, some of the employees judge our appearance beforehand. If we dress nice and look like we have the money to buy a product from the boutique, then they will treat us nicely. But if we dress poorly, they hardly make any effort in serving us. So I think it is the early prejudice on the customer that they have to serve. Though I don't hate the fact that each group of customer is served by one shop assistant. I believe this is because as some of their salary is partly from their commission. But I could be wrong. This is purely just my speculation, though.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Before we begin the interview, could you briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm a college student from China. Nice to meet you.
Okay. Have you ever bought luxury goods before?
Yes, such as Gucci.
Okay, the first question is about how long have you been using Gucci?
I have been using Gucci for 2 years.
Okay, what's your feedback on Gucci's products or service?
The Gucci service staff I have met are very patient. Although sometimes I don't buy their products, they will still introduce them carefully.
Okay, the last question is about what products or service do you think can meet your needs?
I think Gucci's cosmetics can have more innovations and more choice for the customers to choose. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Our interview, before interview, can you do a short quick self-introduction?
I'm a Chinese studying at the university in Singapore.
Okay, so let's begin our question. So, have you ever bought luxury goods?
Well, I've been using Chanel products for about 2 years.
Okay, so what's your feedback on Chanel products or services?
Impressed by the quality and the exquisite design of Chanel products, especially perfume and cosmetics. The effect is very good.
Okay, the last question. So, what products or service do you think can meet your needs?
The overall service is satisfactory, but I hope Chanel can introduce more personalized, customized services, such as skin measurement, customized skin care products, and clothing matching suggestion, which will be more suitable for individual needs and improve user experience.
Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.